Hello students, today we are going to study the second part of the story, two stories about flying. The second part is The Black Aeroplane. It has been written by Frederick Forsyth. First of all, I would like to give you the synopsis of the chapter. Actually, it is a mystery story. Once the writer was flying his old small aeroplane. Suddenly, he was caught in dark storm clouds. The compass, radio and other instruments in his aeroplane all failed. They were not working at the right time. Nothing was visible outside the plane. The writer was unable to see what was in front of him. Luckily, the writer saw another aeroplane quite near him. It was a black aeroplane. Its pilot waved to the writer to follow him. He was waving his hand and giving the hint to the writer to follow him. The writer kept following the black aeroplane. It was black aeroplane. At last he came out of the dark storm. Now he was able to find safely. He was able to find the land safely. He landed safely. The other aeroplane had disappeared. It was black aeroplane that disappeared in the sky. The writer walked to the control room. He wanted to know who that the other pilot was. The writer walked to the control room. He wanted to know actually who he was, but a woman in the control room told the writer that there had been no other plane flying in the sky that night. She said, "Yours was the only one. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar." So really, it's a mystery. And I want to give you some main points. Be careful to listen to me. It was a starry night. The writer was flying his old Dakota aeroplane over France. He was going to England. He wanted to spend his holiday there with his family. It was an easy journey. He was feeling very happy. The writer looked at his watch. It was 1:30 in the morning. He talked to the Paris control room. He wanted to know if he was going in the right direction or not. They advised him to turn 12 degrees west. The writer did accordingly. The writer had left France 150 kilometers behind him. He saw huge mountains of black in front of him. They were approaching in front of him. He also saw that he had not much fuel with him. It was not possible to move up and fly over the clouds. So he directed his old Dakota straight in the clouds. It was suddenly black inside the clouds. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The compass, the radio and all the other instruments in the aeroplane were suddenly dead. Suddenly the writer saw a plane, no light on its wings. He saw the black aeroplane quiet on its wings, but the writer could not see the pilot in it. The pilot waved to the writer to follow him. The writer followed the black aeroplane for half an hour. He became worried because his aeroplane was left very little fuel. He had very little fuel. It could last only 5 or 10 minutes. But then the black aeroplane started going down. The writer followed him. Suddenly the writer was out of the clouds. He could see an aeroplane. He could see not aeroplane, airport. He turned to look for the black aeroplane, but there was nothing there. The sky was empty. The sky was empty. How he was saved? Who saved the writer's life? Who saved him? How he landed safely? Really, it was mysterious. The writer landed his old aeroplane near the control room, control tower. He went in and asked a woman who that other pilot was. The woman looked the writer and laughed. She said that there were no other planes flying in that stormy night. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar, she said. So dear students, take out your book and keep your finger. Now I will explain each and every line. The moon was coming up in the east. Behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was happy to be alone. High up above the sleeping countryside, I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. Looking forward being with my family, I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. The writer is going to meet his family, is describing the location. He is saying that in the east direction, the moon was coming out, coming up, and the stars were twinkling above him. No clouds were in the sky. He was very happy. The writer was very happy. Because he was alone in the sky. He was flying up just above the countryside. He was flying his old kind of Dakota plane just above France. Over France he was flying, and he was coming back to England. He was going to meet his family. He was dreaming about his holiday and meeting his family. Very excitedly, he was waiting to see his family members. He looked his wristwatch and found that he looked his watch and found that it was striking only 1:30 in the morning. Means night, just after 12 in the night. According to English time, it's morning. 1:30 in the morning. Next time, I should call Paris control soon. I should call Paris control soon. He thought, he should call Paris control. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here, can you hear me? I'm on my way to England, over. He gave the information to the Paris control, so he was in the contact. He looked down the past at the nose of his aeroplane and saw the lights of the big city in front of him, and he tried to contact to the Paris control. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS-088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now, DS-088, over. As the writer wanted to know the direction where to move his plane, so he got the answer yes. He must turn his plane at 12 degrees to the west side. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. He checked the map and compass and he switched over to his second and last fuel tank, and just he turned the Dakota plane at the 12 degrees that was told him to do. I'll be in time for breakfast. I thought. He thought that he might be or he must be approaching to his family. At the time of breakfast, a good big English breakfast, everything was going well. It was an easy flight. He was very happy because everything was good for him. He was imagining to have breakfast with his family in the morning. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. When I saw the clouds, storm clouds, they were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me. Across the sky, I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. Now he was very happy because everything was going on, but all of a sudden the weather changed. Paris was left 150 kilometers. He had very less fuel in his tank, but all of a sudden he found the black clouds approaching. He was unable to see. He was unable to see the black clouds. He could not fly his plane up. Very problem before him. The black clouds were stopping his ways. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought. We should go back, I thought. But I wanted to get home, but he was excited to go to his family. I wanted that breakfast. I'll take the risk. So he determined to take the risk. No, I will go. I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. And he started flying his plane. He decided to fly his plane through the storm. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. Black clouds were approaching nearer. So even he was unable to see. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. Could not see anything outside. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air, and the plane was moving in the zigzag way, here and there, it started swooping in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It failed. Compass was moving here and there. It was dead. Compass was not working. It failed. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead. Not only compass but other instruments in the plane stopped working. I tried the radio. He wanted to remain in the contact, so he tried his radio. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer, but he could not get any answer. The radio was dead. The wireless was not working. I had no radio, no compass, and could not see where I was. He could not get the direction. He could not search the location where he was. No instrument was working. Black clouds were there. I was lost in the storm. He lost the way. Then in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no light on its wings. Another aeroplane appeared there without wings. But I could see it flying next to me through the storm. He could see that another plane was flying there. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me, and the pilot of the other airplane was looking at him. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. He was very happy. The writer was very happy to see the another pilot who was waving his hand. He was giving the hint to follow him in the clouds. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. The other pilot was saying, follow me. The other pilot of the black aeroplane was calling him, follow me, follow me. He knows that I am lost. I thought he is trying to help me. The other pilot understood that he was lost in the clouds, and he was trying to help him. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota, so that it wouldn't be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Obedient child, one who is willing to obey the orders. Slowly, slowly, he turned his aeroplane so that he could follow him easily. Like an obedient boy, like an obedient child, he was following the strange aeroplane. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. For half an hour, the black aeroplane remained in front of the writer. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. He had less fuel. Fuel could last to fly for 5 or 10 minutes only. So he was fearing too much. I was starting to feel frightened again. Frightened, terrified. So again he was terrified to think over that. What would happen if the fuel finished? But then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. But the pilot of the black aeroplane started going down, and the writer was following him through the black storms. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of light in front of me. All of a sudden, he felt that he came out of the clouds and storms, and he found two long straight lines of light just in front of him. It was a runway, an airport. It was an airport. I was safe. He felt that he was safe. He landed safely. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. And he turned to find the strange friend of the black aeroplane. He tried to see his friend who helped him, but nothing was there. It was empty sky. The black aeroplane had gone. It disappeared. He could not see him anywhere. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. The narrator landed and he felt no sorry to go to the control tower to ask about the pilot of the black aeroplane. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So he went there to ask a woman who was sitting there about the pilot of the black aeroplane. As he was very thankful, was much obliged to him, he wanted to say thank you very much to the pilot of the black aeroplane who helped him in the stormy night. She looked at me very strangely. The woman who was asked about the pilot of black aeroplane, she looked the writer very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in the storm, up in the storm? What are you saying?